Reflect, reset, be your best. Join the quiz, it's not a test. Feel the light, embrace the dawn. Empowerment, it's going strong. Daily lesson quiz, hooray! What did we learn today? Join the fun, let's all play. Reflect, reset, rise today. Morning gods, we shine so bright. Wisdom flowing, pure insight. Soars through God's words, they lift us high. New beginnings reach the sky. Every moment, take it in. Start anew, let's begin. From the dawn to the night, together we ignite. Daily lesson quiz, hooray! What did we learn today? Join the fun, let's all play. Reflect, reset, rise today.
Well, good morning, and welcome to First Light Reflections, your weekday guide to self-discovery and empowerment, where each sunrise brings you and I a new chance to reflect, reset, and create the best version of ourselves. How is everyone doing this morning? I hope you had a wonderful weekend. What's going on, Sam? And let me check this before I get going. Good morning, Alicia. How are you doing? Did you and Mama B have a wonderful and restful weekend? I do hope so. I really do. I know I enjoyed myself. I really did, even with the time change. So I hope those that did have to go through this, it's going to take a minute to adjust, but you know what? We will be all right. I say, hey, it's just another hour sooner that we get to come together at First Light Reflections. That's the way that I looked at it. But before we dive in, let's do things decent and in order. As we enter this time of reflection, let us remember to yield our hearts to the Lord. Why? Because seeking his kingdom and his purpose above all else is what transforms us. So let us take a moment to do things decent and in order. Heavenly Father, as we come together this morning at this First Light Reflection, we just want to thank you for keeping us and just bringing us through the weekend and back at this time to where we come together and study in your word as we prepare to go on this transformative journey. We ask that you tabernacle with us, and may you be glorified in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, family, let us not delay as we do have some ground to cover this morning. Also, if it's your first time, if you weren't with us before the last time change, as you can see, we have our sunrise cam back. I was excited. I really was. I've been looking forward to bringing that back. I missed having it there and watching, as the sun came up along with us. So we are back in business. The sunrise cam is back. Was anybody as excited as me when you popped on and you saw it back up there this morning, or was it just me and you like, Tor, you on your own? It really excited me to put that back into place yesterday. Good morning, Mama B. Glad to see you coming in. And also, no matter where you're tuning in from, whether it's the live chat, catching the replay, or just scrolling through on YouTube or Facebook, guess what? I am thrilled that you're here. This isn't just a broadcast. This is your space to reflect, grow, and connect. So grab your coffee, tea, whatever it may be, settle in, and let us shine together. Hey, number one sportscasteress in these YouTube streets. Yolanda says, I am happy to see the sunrise cam. Good morning, Vanessa. Glad to see you. San is excited. I'm telling you, I missed having the sunrise cam there. It just gave a little pow to the broadcast, I thought. So we are back in business now. So let us get through our lesson this morning. We're looking at integrity. What is your integrity saying? Right? Do you ever feel like you're doing everything right, checking all the boxes, but still not seeing the results that you're praying for? Maybe doors keep closing, opportunities slip through your fingers, or maybe you just feel stuck in the same patterns, right? What if the answer isn't about working harder, but maybe, have you thought, maybe it's about aligning a little deeper? So in today's study, we're starting in chapter 11. Can you guys believe we are making our way through? We are now in Proverbs chapter 11, making our way through all the way to the end of Proverbs. So we're starting with chapter 11. We'll be looking at verses 1 through 3 today to uncover a powerful truth. Integrity isn't just about honesty, it's also about alignment. When our words, when our actions and faith all move in the same direction, guess what? Breakthrough tends to follow. But when they're out of sync, frustration, stagnation, and confusion can tend to take over. So let's be real this morning, family, and let's start out with a question of the day. Have you checked your heart posture? Have you checked your heart posture lately? Have you asked God if there's a deeper lesson in this season? Could it be that your integrity is guiding you? Or are you just standing still, waiting for movement without growth, right? Let's get into it. Let's unpack it. Proverbs chapter 11 verse 3 tells us that integrity is more than a character trait. It's a force that directs our steps. But here's the challenge when it comes to that. Are you walking in integrity or just talking about it? Because there is a difference, right? Is your life aligned with what you say you believe? Or do small compromises tend to sneak in when no one's watching? Right? When things get tough, when things get a little uncomfortable, do you still choose truth? Or do you look for the easy way out? So let's explore how integrity is not just in what you say, but in how you live can unlock the doors that you may feel like those doors are shut in your life. And in comes Charlotte. Good morning. Good morning. Glad to see you. Right? Because the thing about this, family, the truth is, compromise doesn't move us forward. It keeps us circling the same mountain over and over. So it's time to stop feeling stuck and start walking in full alignment. So drop a comment right now. If you feel comfortable, what's one area in your life where you feel stuck, even though you've been doing all the right things, right? If you're comfortable, just drop one thing, one area in your life where you feel stuck. And you're like, but I've been checking off all the boxes. I know I've been doing everything right. Right? Because if we're real, sometimes the breakthrough isn't about doing more, but aligning ourselves a little bit better. Have you ever been through one of those car washes where they have to guide you in? And if you're a little bit off the rail, you're going to tear up those people's whole car wash, not just their car wash, but you're going to mess up your tires as well. So you have to be in alignment to get on the guardrail so your tires can get caught in the little rollers and it just slowly bumps you along, right? So that's the same way. Look at it this way. When we're trying to get in alignment with God's purpose and will for our lives, we have to line ourselves up. Sometimes we can be a little off center, but we have to get on so God can continue to move us along little by little. All right? So type alignment check in the chat if you're ready to evaluate where your words, your actions, and your faith might just be out of sync, right? Let's hold each other accountable in this family, in this community, right? If you're feeling this message already, you know what? You can also go ahead and hit that like button and share this with someone who you feel may need this today. So let's look at it. We're looking at verse 1. Dishonest scales are an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. So let's call it out, family. God hates imbalance. That's what dishonest scales represent. Things that look right on the surface, but they aren't truly aligned. Right? Vanessa says, I'm ready. I need an alignment check this morning. I'm a little bit off. Alicia says, I'm ready. I'm ready. Right? When things look right, when things tend to look balanced, right? This is what our text is telling us. Things look right on the surface, but they're a little out of alignment, right? This isn't just about business deals or financial integrity, right? This is about how we present ourselves, the way we handle our relationships, and the quiet compromises that we can tend to justify. Sometimes the biggest dishonest scales aren't the lies that we tell others. But guess what, family? It's the lies that we tell ourselves. God delights in wholeness. When who we are in public matches who we are in private when our faith aligns with our decisions, right? So, a practical checkpoint here. Where in your life do things look balanced on the outside? But right? This is the time. Go ahead and pull the saying in. God knows my heart. Yes, he does. Right? So where in your life do things look balanced on the outside, but they feel off internally? Because alignment attracts God's favor. Start there. Start there. And I'm going to reveal as we get into this the subtle lies that we tell ourselves every day that's blocking our blessings, right? So keep watching, stay tuned, right? Verse 2. When pride comes, then comes shame, but with the humble is wisdom. What is this telling us? Pride isn't always loud and it's not always arrogant. Sometimes it looks like self-protection. It tells us to act like we have it all together, to hold on to an image, to resist correction. And here's the connection. Pride often convinces us that integrity is optional, that a little bending of the truth, a little self-preservation, it won't hurt. But here's the thing. Pride's biggest trick is making us believe that we don't need to check ourselves. No, we need to focus. Look at your neighbor. Look at your neighbor. Focus on your neighbor. That's what pride tells us. But we should actually be doing that self-check, checking ourselves daily, minutely, if that's a word, right? It is today, right? Pride leads to shame because it builds a life that looks good, but it isn't rooted in truth. And now integrity, on the other hand, keeps you grounded in wisdom. It removes the weight of trying to appear right and replaces it with the confidence of actually being right with God. That's the difference. So a practical action here, right? Ask yourself, where have I been more focused on looking like I have integrity as opposed to actually walking in it? Verse 3, the integrity of the upright will guide them, but the perversity of the unfaithful will destroy them. Mercy. Man, do y'all notice chapter 11's not letting up? I thought chapter 10 took us, through the hills and valleys. But do y'all notice that chapter 11 is like, I'm not letting up. I am tightening the reins, right? You guys, we are on the narrow path. Is it just me as we go through these verses? But chapter 11 is showing no mercy on us as we come out looking at our devotional text, verses 1 through 3. The integrity of the upright will guide them, but the perversity of the unfaithful will destroy them. Integrity is directional. That's what that's telling us. It's the difference between wandering and walking with purpose. So if you've been praying for guidance, clarity, or an open door, this might be the answer. This might be just the answer that you didn't expect, because God always comes and he does things, he moves, but it doesn't look like the way that we intended it to look. The answer doesn't come quite wrapped in the package that we expected it to be wrapped in, right? Integrity isn't just a moral trait. It's the internal compass that keeps us on track, family. But here's the flip side. When integrity is absent, what happens? What do you think? When integrity is missing, what do you think happens? Put a few things there in the chat. What can come in and tend to take over? What are some of the things that can replace, right? When integrity isn't there, what type of things replace it? I'll tell you one. Chaos. What are some things? What do you think? Confusion. What do you think? Disorder, disarray. When integrity is absent, confusion, disarray, disorder, it tends to take over. But when we cut corners, when we bend the truth to fit convenience, when we allow pride, we end up lost. Right? The GPS, we get off the GPS. We're like, I know where I'm going. I don't need to follow this. So a practical insight here, asking ourselves, am I expecting God to lead me when I haven't aligned my actions with his truth? Charlotte says greed. All of these things seep in when we try and cover up integrity when we try and balance the scales. And God is like, that scale's a little off. Take your finger. We try and put our finger on, just kind of tip it a little bit, right? Like, God's like, I know it's off, out of balance. As my daughter says, balance, Mama. Everything needs balance. Balance, Mama. Right? So we have to ask ourselves, am I expecting God to lead me when I haven't aligned my actions fully with his truth? Because Satan knows most of us won't just blatantly walk into deception. So what does he have to do? He works in the shadows, planting small compromises that seem harmless, but quietly erode our integrity and keep us stuck. And here's exactly how he does it: exaggerating success to keep up with appearances. Exaggerating success to keep up with appearances instead of walking in authenticity. We present a version of ourselves that looks more impressive because of the fear that honesty might not be enough. Well, are they going to accept me for really who I am? Are they going to still accept, man, I don't have everything that I used to have. Things look a little different now. Things are a little tight. But integrity means trusting that who God made you to be is enough without any embellishment, family. Taking shortcuts because, well, everyone else does. Whether it's cutting corners in business, relationships, or spiritual growth, Satan's whispers, nobody's perfect. It's no big deal. This is what he comes in with. But our devotional text, Proverbs 11 and verse 3 tells us that integrity is what guides us. Shortcuts might feel like we're making progress, right? Like we're on the little bumper rail slowly going through, but they only delay God's best for us. Holding back truth in relationships out of fear. Maybe it's avoiding difficult conversations or downplaying convictions, or maybe just even staying silent when you know you should speak up. Sometimes we like to use the terms, I'm just keeping the peace. Well, you know what? Remember when we studied the passage in our one of our morning devotionals where we clearly outline, right? The biblication told us that deceptive peace is still deception, right? Satan makes us think honesty will cost us when in reality, integrity builds trust, strengthens relationships, and keeps us in alignment with God's plans. But Satan wants to come in and be like, if you're honest, this is going to cost you. But it actually is the opposite. So holding back truth in relationships out of fear. Compromise doesn't move us forward. It keeps us stuck. It keeps us stuck in the cycle that feels familiar, but it's never fulfilling. If you're tired of circling the same struggles, right, it's time to shut down these subtle tactics and just walk in true integrity. I know it's tough. Right? Remember, I have 2 PhDs. Probably have done it. Probably had it done to me. It is tough, but it can be done. We have to be intentional with a no matter what. So let's look at some of the practical steps, practical, easy steps to integrity. Identify where we've been out of alignment. That's our first step. What is always the first thing that we have to do in any process? I know you remember class. I know the time has shifted. You're like, Tori, I'm up an hour sooner than I needed to be because it's daylight savings time. But I know you still know. What is the first step in our processes when we go through? What's the first thing that we have to do out the gate? When we make up our mind and say, you know what, today is the day that the Lord has made, I'm going to take action. The first thing that we have to do is identify. We have to acknowledge. Thank you, saying. There we go. We have to acknowledge it. So right out the gate, acknowledge. Identify where you have been out of alignment. The same way we would look at a friend, a coworker, a family member and say, you need to check yourself, right? You need to be real. Keep it real. Keep it 100. Do that same thing. Flip it right back. Keep it 100 with yourself. Be real. Because remember, God knows your heart, right? And if we're real, have you ever prayed for God to open doors, but deep down, you knew you weren't in full alignment. Knew you weren't walking in full alignment. Maybe you've been asking for clarity, but our actions are clouded with inconsistency. Maybe you've been waiting on God, but the truth is, God has been waiting on you, waiting for you to fully commit, to stop straddling the fence, to stop making excuses, to stop allowing for these small compromises. Family, I'm not saying that you're out here being deceptive. Now, don't go run telling anybody, Taurus said I was deceptive, that I was low that. That ain't what I said. That's not what I'm saying. But if we're honest, family, misalignment doesn't always look like dishonesty. Sometimes it looks like fear. It looks like hesitation. It looks like halfway obedience. And what did we learn a few weeks ago about halfway obedience? All right, I'll let y'all fill it in. I know you remember. So we have to ask, where have you been playing it safe instead of standing firm in integrity? Where have you been bending, shrinking, or cutting corners? Because integrity isn't just about avoiding lies. It's about living in wholeness without any contradictions. And here's the kicker. You already know what area God's been pressing on your heart. You already know. You already know. And that's the thing, that you keep brushing off. Yep. There it is. Right? Sin says is disobedience. That's it. Halfway disobedience is still disobedience. And that thing that you keep brushing off, that thing that is consistently nagging at you, that's exactly where you're out of alignment. So you know what? In this first step, name it, own it, and bring it into the light. And commit to full alignment. Full alignment. No more halfway obedience. No more, I'll fix it later. No more negotiating with God like he didn't already give you the blueprint. Negotiations are done. The negotiations were done at the cross, right? Listen, you can't ask God for his best while settling for less in your choices. You can't pray for breakthrough while ignoring the very thing that's blocking it. Your integrity, family, is the gatekeeper of your next season. So identify where you've been out of alignment and commit to full realignment. And here's the challenge. What do you need to adjust today? Today. This is the day that the Lord has made. Be glad and adjust in it today. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Maybe it's being honest in that difficult conversation. Maybe it's finally walking away from that situation that consistently and repeatedly pulls you out of your character. Maybe it's committing to excellence in the little things, because integrity isn't just tested in the big moments. It's tested all throughout the everyday. You want the favor of God, then you have to live in alignment with his principles. There's no variance. That means integrity isn't optional. It's non-negotiable. Pray for the strength to stay the course, family. This isn't easy. Integrity will cost you comfort. It will cost you convenience. It will even cost you certain opportunities. But guess what? Anything you have to compromise your integrity to get is something that we've learned throughout our devotionals, is something that we're eventually going to lose. So pray for the strength. Pray for wisdom. Pray for endurance. And because integrity isn't, again, going back over to make sure, integrity isn't just about doing the right thing once. It's about making it a lifestyle, consistent. And when you live in integrity, you don't have to force doors open. Guess what? Can you hear the sound? God opens them for you, family. Verse 3 of our devotional text, the integrity of the upright will guide them. This means integrity isn't just a moral principle, it's a force that directs your steps. So if you've been feeling lost, confused, or stuck, just simply check your alignment. Are things in balance? Because integrity doesn't just protect you, it leads you to the exact place that God has been preparing you for. So this is your moment, family. No more excuses, no more delays, no more waiting for I got to wait for the right time. I'm not ready yet. This is the right time. Because of why? We know not the time nor the hour of his coming or our going. This is the right time right now, family. Right now. So drop a comment, family. If you're comfortable, what's one shift you're going to make today to walk in full integrity? This is the day to say it, declare it, then live fully in it. Because today, we're not just talking about integrity. We're here. Our mission is to walk fully in it. So what's one shift that you're making today to walk in full integrity, family? This isn't just a message. It's a call to action. And if you've been feeling off track, try using the morning watch to reset. It's also known as the integrity reset hour. Ask God, Father, reveal any area where I'm out of alignment. Give me the courage to live fully in integrity and guide me back. God will always take his gentle hand. Regina was saying something about this on Sabbath. God will always guide. He is always there with that gentle hand. He just doesn't take us and shove us, to gently guide us back to the path that he has set for us. And then he gets us back to the path and he's like, okay, now go on. All right. Don't worry. I'm here, as he guides us back to the path. The 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. watch is a time when God exposes those hidden things. Use it to realign your life with his direction. This watch is where alignment happens. This is the hour when God can expose those hidden things. When he wakes you up, think about it. When he wakes you up in the stillness, not just to pray, but to reset, to realign. Think about the scripture, Psalms 30 and verse 5. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy. I know you're saying it right along with me. Come on, family. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Family, morning isn't just a time of day. It's a spiritual shift. It's when God replaces that confusion with clarity. Have you ever felt like when you get up in the early hours, you just have a clearness about the day? You're able to set yourself, on the right track, really think through things in that quietness, in that stillness, right? God replaces confusion with clarity, compromise with conviction, and guess what? Stagnation with movement. This is when fresh mercies. Remember Lamentations chapter 3, verses 22 and 23. This is when fresh mercies meet new decisions. When you choose to walk in integrity, no matter what the cost. You say, you know what? I'm willing to pay this price. So if you've been feeling stuck, if the weight of inconsistency has been slowing you down, family, this is your hour to pray. 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. Ask God, right? Here's a start out for you. Here's a start out prompt. You can either come back and grab it in the replay or take a screenshot. God, expose where I've been out of alignment. Give me the courage to walk fully in integrity. Guide me back to the path that you've set for me. Because integrity, again, family, isn't just about doing the right thing. Now, our minds, that's what we kind of equated to was, I did the right thing. I said the right thing. But as we've learned, integrity is about wholeness, about fullness. It's about walking in the way of the righteous. Just as our devotional text guided us through this morning, the integrity of the upright will guide them. And when we align with that, there's nothing that can stop what God has for you, right? You didn't just click here and come in and take a seat by accident. You may still even be sitting out there in the foyer with my number one usher, Florence, but you didn't make it here by accident, right? God is calling you higher, to a higher level of integrity that unlocks real favor, real blessings, and real breakthrough. This isn't about perfection. It's about alignment, family, plain and simple. When integrity leads, success follows. When integrity is absent, guess what? Confusion takes over every single time. So today, the choice is yours. Will you keep wondering, man, scratching your head, why do I feel stuck? Or will you align fully with God's truth and start walking in the breakthrough that he's been waiting to give you? He's standing there. Have you ever held something for something heavy, maybe carrying a heavy platter of food or a heavy tray, and you're like, come on, hurry up, open the door. If you're coming in or you got groceries and you're like, come on. And maybe the kids are taking too long or whoever's with you. Come on. I'm about to drop this, right? God's like, I'm holding this. I'm waiting on you. Come on. Now we know that there's nothing too big for God, right? He's like, I got this. Maybe I'll just sit here and hold it on my finger. I'll wait until you're ready. I will wait until you're ready for this breakthrough. I'll wait until you're really and truly ready to be able to handle all that I have for you and to handle it with unwavering integrity. Family, let's make this move together because it's time to get unstuck, right? It's also, guess what? It's also quiz time. Let's go.
Light so bright, it's the first light reflections quiz time. Tornado leading the way with God's wisdom. Let's start the quiz and seize the day.
Let's go.
All right. Y'all ready? Let's go. Integrity is just about being honest with others, not necessarily with ourselves. Is this true or is this false? What say you, fam? True or false? Charlotte says that's false. Hey, what's going on, Jay? What's going on, 15G? Jessica says that's false. That is false. Integrity is just about being honest with others, not necessarily with ourselves. But sometimes we like to play it that way. Is that true or is that false? Burton comes in and says false. That is indeed false, family. Integrity is about wholesomeness and alignment in every area of life. It includes being honest with ourselves, with God, and with others. Well done, fam. All right. According to Proverbs 11:1, what does God delight in? Is it quick success, just and honest scales, clever shortcuts, or keeping up appearances? Come on, coach, get your head in the game. According to our devotional text, what does God delight in? Boy, Jay snuck in this morning at the back of the class because she put it up. She said 2. Jay was at the back of the class like, I'm just going to watch it. Mama B says, I agree with that. Burton, Charlotte, Jessica with 2. All right. Man, y'all are on it this morning. Y'all are on it. What in the whole world? That is correct. It is 2. But I guess I just didn't even want to put that one. So we just go right to Proverbs 11:3 says, the integrity of the what? The wise, the humble, the upright, the successful will guide them. Which one is it? A, B, C, or D? Limited snickers. Never know what you're going to get when it comes to these quizzes, right? Oh, man. Jay says C. Let's see. Charlotte said, I checked. I checked. I went and checked it to make sure. All right, family. Integrity serves as a guiding force for those who choose to walk in truth and righteousness. Jessica says, I'm going to go with that too. Right? It is the upright. All right, family. Pride and integrity work together to bring wisdom. Is this true or is this false? What say you, fam? Pride and integrity work together to bring wisdom. Is this true or is this false? What say you? Let's see. We got false. False. You're right. Pride leads to shame, while humility brings wisdom. Pride often causes people to compromise integrity. Why? Just to protect their own image. And we saw that in our devotional text in verse 2 this morning. All right. What is one subtle way Satan tempts people to compromise integrity? Does he discourage outright dishonesty? Convincing that small compromises don't matter? Making people steal openly? Or leading people into obvious lies? 1, 2, 3, or 4. Which one, family? What is one subtle way? Encouraging outrightly? Small compromises? Making people just steal openly? Now, people were doing that, remember? After the Ronavid Plex 19, remember that? They were like, don't even bother with them. Just let them come in and take what they want out the store. Don't even try and stop them. You guys remember that? Mercy. Let's see. That is correct. Convincing that small compromises don't matter, right? The enemy is crafty, is he not? He makes dishonesty seem just so insignificant, right? And guess what happens? It slowly becomes a habit if it's not brought into check. All right. When we operate without integrity, we experience success, confusion, immediate rewards, or peace instead of guidance. When we operate without integrity, we experience success, confusion, immediate rewards, or peace. What say you, fam? Boy, Jay come in dunking on y'all. Bam! She kills me with I don't know what kind of juice is in the phone lines up there, y'all. I'm telling you. Every time. Mercy. All right. Confusion. Integrity provides clear direction, while compromise creates chaos and uncertainty in our decisions. All right, fam. God overlooks dishonesty when it's done for a good reason. Is this true or is this false? God overlooks dishonesty when it's done for a good reason. Have you ever, matter of fact, have you ever convinced yourself of this? You know what? God's going to overlook this because I'm doing it for a good reason. Man, I know somebody nodding. But I'm not going to put it there on that screen. I'm not going to put the evidence out there. I'm just going to leave that for the heavenly books. Man, that is false, family. Our devotional text told us clearly in verse 1 of chapter 11. Calls dishonest scales an abomination to the Lord. God values truth in all circumstances. All right. Why does integrity lead to guidance? Because it forces God to bless us. Because it aligns with God's principles. Because it guarantees a problem-free life. No more troubles. Because it's the easiest path to take. What do you say, fam? What do you say? What saith you? What do you say, fam? What saith you? Let's see. Because it aligns with God's principles, which naturally lead to wisdom and direction. Integrity keeps us in alignment with God's wisdom, opening doors and providing that clear guidance. Nothing like following God's GPS. All right. When integrity, pride, patience, prosperity comes, then comes shame. Fill it in the text. But with the humble is wisdom. Verse 2 of our devotional text is that integrity, pride, patience, prosperity comes, then comes shame. But with the humble, or the humble, as the old pastors say, you got to be humble. They just completely said, we don't need this H. We don't need it at all. Just put it over here to the side. Be humble. It's wisdom. That H, don't need that H at all. We're going to be humble. Let's see. We're going with pride. Let's see. That is indeed correct. Pride leads to the downfall. When pride comes, then comes shame. But with the humble is wisdom. While humility opens the doors to wisdom and growth. All right, family, let's bring it on home now. Integrity guarantees that life will always be easy. Is this true or is this false? Integrity is a 100% guarantee that life will always be easy. Jay just shot a 3-pointer and said, boom, false. Charlotte came right behind and said, I got the assist. Burton with false. Mama B says, I can see Mama B. That's false. That's false, baby. Yes, indeed. That is false. Integrity doesn't eliminate challenges, but it does provide clarity, guidance, and protection from unnecessary consequences, fam. Yes, it does. So, as we come out of this and as we go back into our text, right? When integrity is your foundation, you don't have to chase opportunities. God positions them for you each and every time. Alignment with his principles brings clarity in confusion, stability in uncertainty, and momentum when life feels stuck. Remember, we started out talking about when you go through those car washes and you have to line yourself up, right? So you don't tear up them people's car wash. So matter of fact, you don't tear up your car, right? And come out of there and then have to go get your tires rotated and balanced. You got to get on so the little bumpers can slowly propel you forward. And you and your vehicle can make it safely out through the other end. So that's the same way. Alignment brings that stability in times of uncertainty and momentum when life begins to feel stuck. Integrity isn't just about doing what's right. Keep that in mind, family. That's very important. Integrity isn't just about doing the right thing. It's about walking in the wisdom that unlocks God's best for our lives. And remember, you don't walk this journey alone. Why? Emmanuel, God is with us. And remember this. There's an old saying, time longer than rope. What does that mean? Shortcuts may be quick, but integrity endures. Cutting corners eventually catches up with us, while truth and alignment lead to lasting blessings. Trust, family. Trust what God has for you, because guess what? No one can take that away. And let there be no one or nothing that convince you otherwise. Nothing no one can do or say to move you from that position. All right, family. You know what time it is. Walk good. Do good. Be good. Tornado, I'm out of here. All right? Grab my thing over here. Oh, and as my friends over in Dubai say, me soon come. All right? Me gone.
Wake up to the sunrise glow. First light reflections, here we go. Torah uses God's wisdom to guide us every day. Self-discovery on the way. Reflect, reset, be your best. Join the quiz, it's not a test. the